This is a mini IKA Musum who loves shrimp. When she feels threatened, she can squirt ink from her body. Despite her tiny, cute size, she can devour lobsters that are even larger than herself in one go. One morning, Eiko was strolling by the sea when she discovered IKA Musum trapped inside a bottle. Being kind-hearted, Eiko decided to take IKA Musum home with her. At home, Eiko stared at IKA Musum for a long time, unsure of what kind of creature she was. So, she reached her hand into the bottle, hoping to take IKA Musum out for a closer look. However, IKA Musum, thinking Eiko intended to harm her, began to resist out of fear. Seeing this, Eiko tried to pour IKA Musum out of the bottle, but IKA Musum pressed her hands and feet against the bottle's opening, refusing to let go, no matter how much Eiko shook it. With no other options, Eiko placed the bottle back on the table. After a while, IKA Musum slowly crawled out, but she collapsed to the ground after only taking a few steps, fainting. When IKA Musum woke up again, Eiko was gone. IKA Musum thought she could escape since no one was around, but after running a few steps, she slammed into something invisible and bounced back. Eiko had placed IKA Musum into a fish tank. Seeing Eiko's hand reaching toward her again, IKA Musum panicked and ran, but being inside the fish tank, there was nowhere for her to escape. Now, Eiko was going to catch her. Suddenly, Eiko stopped and smiled gently at IKA Musum. Realizing that Eiko meant no harm, IKA Musum finally stopped being afraid. Summoning her courage, she extended one of her tentacles and cautiously made contact with Eiko. Eiko, amused by how cute IKA Musum looked, placed 2 fingers into the tank to play with her. IKA Musum felt completely at ease now and happily chased Eiko's fingers around the tank. When Eiko's fingers suddenly stopped, IKA Musum almost bumped into them, puffing up her cheeks in frustration. Using her tentacles, she lightly tapped Eiko as if to show her anger. But instead of being upset, Eiko gently soothed IKA Musum with her fingers. This gesture made IKA Musum feel entirely safe. When Eiko extended her palm, IKA Musum didn't hesitate for a moment and climbed up Eiko's arm, reaching her shoulder. After finally showing a smile, IKA Musum suddenly began crying, as if she realized something. At first, Eiko couldn't understand why she was crying until she heard IKA Musum's stomach growl. Eiko realized IKA Musum was hungry, so she quickly made her a tiny rice ball. However, IKA Musum sniffed it, threw it aside, and kept crying. Eiko realized IKA Musum probably didn't like vegetarian food, so she brought out an octopus tentacle. To her surprise, IKA Musum pounced on it like it was her enemy, angrily hugging and beating it. It was clear that their relationship in the sea wasn't a peaceful one. After all that, IKA Musum was too tired to cry anymore. Eiko then offered a small shrimp. IKA Musum's eyes lit up as she eagerly devoured it and then looked at Eiko, signaling for more. What had originally been a large bag of shrimp quickly disappeared. Still not satisfied, IKA Musum eagerly devoured a sweet shrimp Eiko brought from the kitchen. But even after that, IKA Musum seemed unsatisfied, so Eiko brought out an Australian lobster. Though it was several times bigger than IKA Musum, she was thrilled and soon finished it. Finally, IKA Musum patted her full belly, content. However, the consequences of overeating soon set in. IKA Musum had trouble breathing and her face turned purple. She groaned in pain inside the tank. Seeing this, Eiko rushed to bring some digestive medicine. But IKA Musum refused to take anything she didn't recognize and kept her mouth tightly shut. Eiko then started to scratch IKA Musum's belly to coax her into opening her mouth. The moment she did, Eiko quickly threw in the pill. The digestive pill worked wonders, and soon IKA Musum regained her energy. She happily danced around in the tank. Considering that IKA Musum was a sea creature, Eiko sprinkled some salt into the water to simulate a seawater environment. She then placed IKA